What's up? You are now listening to Americanized, a storytelling podcast where you'll hear from eclectic first and second generation Americans share their stories and real life experiences as children of immigrants. What's up? Thank you so much for tuning into a new episode of Americanized. I'm your host, Roslyn, and in this episode, I sit and chat with Kevin Forero. Kevin is a young, first-generation American and first-generation college student studying marketing. In this episode, we talk about the college process as a first-generation American and a first-gen college student, staying connected to your roots, traveling back home, immigrant parents, and we also discuss the overlap between both of our cultures, despite us looking like two different people from two completely different cultures. I always have like an awkward intro when I welcome guests onto the show. But welcome to the show, Kevin. I'm really excited to finally speak with you after all this time, and I'm really interested in who you are and your background, and as far as like being Americanized and what that means for you and all of that stuff.
Right. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you for having me on.
Of course. So, why don't you introduce yourself and just give a little bit background on who you are and what you do.
Yeah. So my name is Kevin Forero. I'm currently 19 and I live in Georgia. So I'm on the East Coast. About me, I was born here, actually in Charleston, and my parents are from Colombia. So this is a little glimpse about me. Yeah.
Yeah. And when did your parents come over to America?
So they came over about 20 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah. So probably a little bit before I was born. So yeah, just around that time.
Mm-hmm. That's similar with at least my mom. She came like a few years, maybe like the year I was born. And I'm 24. He said you're 19, you're like a baby.
You're 24?
I'm 24, yes.
Whoa.
How old do I look?
You like...
I love this question. I love asking people.
No, like no kidding. I thought you're like all due respect, yeah. But like 16, 17.
What? Oh, wow. You thought I was younger than you. Wow.
No, I did.
Oh,
and with all due respect.
I don't know what to say. Okay, I mean, I'll take that.
Is that the youngest you've gotten?
Actually, I've gotten younger. I think 15 might have been the youngest. But
okay.
Yeah, that's so interesting that you thought I was younger.
Yeah, I don't know.
I thought you were a little bit older, even though you did say you just finished high school and stuff.
Right. Yeah, I just finished high school and just entering college.
Cool.
So yeah, it's just me.
What's that like?
So it's been an experience so far. Because that's all college been to me, just a big fat experience.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm actually like first gen like college student.
Oh,
so like that's on top of that, it's even like bigger experience. And yeah, I mean, you really learn as you go when it comes to the whole college experience, the whole process of like applying and even like scholarships and stuff like that. So
absolutely.
For me, it's been good so far. I've been pretty blessed. Nothing bad has happened yet.
That's good.
Yeah.
Are you like, what is college like now with COVID? Are you doing remote or is it hybrid or are you fully in person?
So like for my university, they have the option of both. Like you can have online classes as well as hybrids, as well as all in person. I have like a mixture, like half and half, like half online, half in person. Yeah, I think with COVID, like everybody just with masks and, keeping distance and stuff like that because you got to.
Yeah, exactly. It's so strange because I graduated college in 2019, like all in person, or 2019.
Right.
2020, because I did a grad year as well, like right before COVID. So I'm like, what is college like? This is like really strange to think about. Especially like, what are you studying?
So I'm going for a marketing degree. So what about you? What did you study for?
I studied occupational therapy.
Oh wow,
So now
that's
I'm a
cool.
OT right now. Yeah. Fresh
Wow.
out, entry level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. So have you just started working or
Yeah, basically
like in the
like
field?
two
Wow.
months ago. Yeah. Or a month ago.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Fresh. Like really fresh.
Fresh out. Yeah. It's really
Yeah. And
cool.
how's that? How's that?
It's an experience for sure. Like the whole saying, like you know more than you think you do. I think it's really true when you're just thrown
Yeah.
out and doing what you studied for all these years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I mean, studying for like 4 years plus, I mean, it has to at least prepare you for some. So,
Yeah, you'd hope. But then sometimes you come out and you're like, I feel like I learned nothing. I can't apply anything
right.
that I.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, at the same time, it's all about, like you said, like we both said, like the word experience. It's like, it's
Hmm.
all about that experience because that's where you really learn.
Exactly. Always
Yeah.
learning and growing.
Yeah. That's how it is.
Yeah. You said you're a first gen college student and you talked about the application process, and I that just reminded me of when I was doing that.
Yeah. Are you first
Just
gen?
I am.
Okay.
Yep. So my parents came from Ivory Coast in
Hmm.
West Africa, and for college, yeah, my dad did some like community college, but not like a big 4 year university.
Right.
And I am the second oldest, and my sister did school abroad, but for the US, yeah, I guess first gen. And
Yeah.
just navigating the process of applying, and I feel like I didn't have a lot of, at least parental guidance. It's like just pick the
Yeah.
best school and do the best you
Yeah.
can, and we're like cheering
Yeah.
you on, but like all the paperwork and it's like pretty much lost and figuring it out on my own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I've had a similar experience with me because like I'm the oldest, so like there's nobody really say, hey, do this instead of doing that or
Hmm.
do that. Like I have friends that are like in university and they're like third year in, but really for somebody to sit me down right next to me and be like, hey, you have to file these taxes in order to do this and
Yeah.
do that and that and scholarships, which is a whole different thing. And I just feel like there should be like more, like a program or something for, which I'm sure there is, but just in a private, right, for like first gen students.
I agree with
Because
you. Yeah.
yeah, because there's really like nothing for them to like sit down and be like, hey, this is how college works. This is what like majors are. This
Hmm.
is really the path you can take. Because I guess they really like in my situation, they were just like, this is what a majors they provide. And I'm like, okay, what are majors? Or like, what can I do with a major? Like, I was completely lost,
I feel that.
and I still feel lost at times, but it's really a process,
Yeah,
really.
yeah, for real. And like there are no baby steps. I guess they use the language assuming that we already know. Like I remember looking at old chats with my friend talking about college, and I didn't even know what undergrad meant or like graduate or anything
Yeah,
like that. I was like so
yeah,
lost. And that was like in I want to say high school when you're supposed to know these things. And you have
exactly.
your guidance counselor.
Yeah.
Yeah, there should be a program for parents and for students to
Hmm.
guide. Because I feel like with my parents, they only really worried about like the expenses, like how much will this
Yeah.
school be? How much
Yeah.
money are you getting in scholarships? Like
Yeah.
what's coming out of the pocket?
Yeah. I think that reminded me because I think it was like when I was signing up for the university that I'm going to right now, there was
Mhm.
two options, either an associate's degree or a bachelor's degree. And I was like, what am I signing up for? Like, I have no idea what I'm signing up for until I asked and I was like, oh, go for a bachelor's. It's like the 4 year one. So I was like, okay, cool. So it's really just like, okay, I'll follow what you're saying because I have no idea. I'm gonna just
Exactly.
follow your advice because I'm
No
lost.
idea.
Yeah, so that's just how it is.
Yeah, no, it's a good conversation to have. Do you find are there a lot of other first generation either Americans or college students in your year or your class?
Well, there's maybe like out of five, maybe like one or two, maybe
Oh,
like one. Like I have a friend who's like also first gen, but I think he was chilling. He was fine. He probably found the resources he needed.
okay.
But no, not that many. Not that many really.
Yeah. Is your school diverse or?
So my high school experience was pretty diverse.
Mhm.
Like my elementary and middle school though were really it was predominantly like a white race school. So So I guess your title of Americanized goes really well with me because I grew up like around like that American culture pretty big, and so I guess that's part of my life as well.
I agree. I grew up in a predominantly white schools as well, and I'm currently working. So I'm in Massachusetts. I'm currently working in Boston public schools in their
Hmm.
charter schools. And when I walked in, I was like, this isn't real because it's nothing like the schools I grew up in. It's like super diverse, lots of black students, like classrooms are full of black and Hispanic students, and I'm like, wow, this isn't doesn't seem real because all I know about schools is PWIs, predominantly white institutions,
Hmm.
no black kids anywhere. And I
Hmm.
remember in middle school, we there's like a transfer program where students from charter schools come to like a public school. And this
Right.
one girl, she was Nigerian and she came from a charter school, which now I understand. When she came to my middle school, which was really white, she was like freaked out by all the white all the white people she was seeing.
Yeah.
She was like, "Whoa, I see white people," and I'm like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, that's normal." But now that like years later, now that I'm like working in a charter school,
Right.
I see what she meant by that. Cause
Yeah.
yeah,
It's really I can't imagine going through like drastic change of
yeah,
like from like living in one country and then living in another and seeing so many people
exactly.
that that you rarely see, which is crazy. I think I go through that sometimes when I go back to Colombia, and I'm like, oh wow, there's really just Colombians there.
That's funny. You've been to Colombia, so
Yeah, I've been in Colombia like about 2 3 times,
that's
and
awesome.
um, so far, I mean, I always come back like really humbled because like when you go back to like your family's country and you're like, wow, you're really blessed sometimes to have the things here, but
Hmm.
that's just been my experience. But going back to like, oh wow, there's so many Colombians. Like, it's kind of like cool how like my best friend group is
Hmm.
like one guy's from Romania, another guy from Pakistan, another guy from Cuba, and it's just like all of us, and it's so many cultures, so many languages. There's like 3 different languages, and
Yeah,
which is something you don't really see over in Colombia. It's just like
yeah.
you're Colombian, or sometimes there's like a Brazilian.
Or
Yeah.
that's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I had the same experience going back home. I went there this past summer, actually,
Okay, cool.
and it's just like a bunch of Ivorians or different African people, and you don't see that diversity that you see in America. And I guess there are, pros and cons. And it's like you like being with the homogenous group of people where you don't have to explain yourself, you can just be, and
Yeah.
everybody kind of understands. Like you just get the whole we're African type of thing or we're
Yeah.
Colombian, and you just feel like comfortable. When in America, there's like so many more layers to it, to
Yeah.
identity, and yeah. Coming back humble, I like that you said that because I experienced that too. You're kind of like, okay, I see why my parents came over
Yeah.
for different reasons, but yeah, you definitely do come back feeling a lot more humble and grateful for what you have.
Yeah. No, I completely agree with that because
Mm.
I think it was even like I came back home and I was like, wow, I'm really grateful for like our system of garbage because
Yeah,
it's like there's a trash can and then we put everything there and we don't have to like really take care of that. Like somebody else has to take care of that. They
right.
process that because it's like over there. I guess there's no like a system of like garbage.
Yeah.
So you usually just find garbage just like on a corner.
Oh my gosh. I'm so glad you
Yeah.
said that because that was like probably the biggest thing that bothered me back home. I
Yeah.
was like, there's trash everywhere.
Yeah. I took for granted like their whole trash system. I was like, wow. We even have like recycling sometimes, which is
Yeah.
like like what? It's kind of
Mhm.
cool.
And different
So
types of things to recycle too. We have categories and
yeah,
different.
there's like waste, compost,
Yeah.
recycle, and
Like
trash.
we take it seriously. It's like,
Yeah, over there they're just like
big pile.
bags of trash.
Yeah.
Trash.
Yeah.
So it's crazy. And it's really humbling, really.
Hmm. It's the little things we take for granted because it's like our
Hmm.
everyday, regular life, like running water.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I don't know about over there, but like in Colombia, it's all about like like sodas or natural drinks, like fruit drinks,
Mm-hmm.
it's like water is like not really common because usually like here whenever I go to restaurants and stuff like that, I just order water because
Yeah.
like just that's just what I like. But if I were to go over there, they're like water. Like, what are you
Yeah, I
talking
feel
about?
that. Yeah.
Yeah, they're like, do you want like what is it called? Like over there they call it water with gas, which is like I forgot the word.
Bubbly or
Yeah,
bubbly water?
the bubbly
Sparkling
water.
water, yeah.
Sparkling. There we go. Yes, the sparkling. And I'm like, no, I don't drink that. It's just like normal water. It's
Oh
like
wow.
just normal water. And they're like,
Weirdo. They're
yeah.
like trying to
So
be fancy over there.
yeah. So I don't know. It's really tiny things where here you're like, oh, it's normal,
Mm-hmm. No, I
and
feel that. That's so
over there it's just
interesting.
like completely different.
Yeah. My
Yeah.
grandma's over there. She loves drinking Coca-Cola, like
Hmm.
soda, and even beer. Like,
Yeah.
and love juice. And I think my mom is like that too. Even like here, she's really into like sweet drinks. But I love water.
Yeah.
Water is
No.
life.
Yeah. No. Really, water is life because Coke is like a worldwide thing, and everybody drinks it over there.
Mhm.
And it's not the best.
It's
It's not the
not.
best. It's not the best thing to drink, but people like it.
It's true. Let's talk about your friend group. You said they're from different countries.
Yeah.
They're all first gen.
One of them is like second gen.
Mm-hmm.
One of them is second gen, but like two of them are first gen.
Do you see like any differences between you being a first gen and your friend who's second gen?
Well, for the person that's second gen, he has like he's not like all of us are bilingual except for
Oh.
that except for him.
Mm-hmm.
So like sometimes like he understands it, but it's like not like fluent
Mm-hmm.
to that point. But like differences like that, like maybe food wise for sure.
Oh, really?
Food wise for sure, because let's say we go to one person's house for like a European dish or we have a Pakistan dish.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really cool going to each other's like parties and like family dinners and just really trying something. It's always something new. And
That's awesome.
you really get out of your comfort zone when it
Yeah,
comes to like eating that sort of food. So
that's really cool. Like,
mhm.
what do you mean by food? Like, with your friend who's second gen?
The person that's second gen, he's like, I mean, he's pretty Americanized. So
Yeah.
yeah, so I mean, I don't know. I haven't gone to his house actually to eat, but there's no really like treating each other differently just because like they're not first gen or
Yeah.
maybe they don't speak another languages like that. But I think that's just with us. Like we have like a really tight brotherhood when it comes to that.
Mm-hmm.
So no, but it's really fun
I
like being
bet.
best friends with other people and really learning their culture, learning their way of living because
Mm-hmm.
everybody has a different way of living.
That's true. It's a great way to that exposure's great.
Yeah.
And have you been friends with them for a while? Like, are they your childhood friends?
Yeah, so I've been
Oh,
friends with them since I was like sixth grade. So I was
oh,
like 12.
yeah. That's so cool to grow up with like people who are kind of like having the same experience as you, like being
Yeah.
first gen and kind of becoming Americanized or having similar. Like, I feel like a common theme is like strict parents.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe I can't go over your house today or have a sleepover
Yeah.
because my
Yeah.
parents said no. Yeah, and you just kind of understand that, so there's no like awkward talk to your
Yeah.
parents or please like beg them or whatever.
Yeah.
That's good.
Because I used to have that problem like in elementary school. Like all my friends would invite me, like, hey, sleep over. Like, yeah, all my friends were like predominantly like really white. And
Hmm.
like, I'd be like, it's not that easy, man. It's
It's
not that
not that
easy.
easy.
It's not
Yeah.
like asking, hey, I'm gonna go over there. Pick me up
No,
tomorrow. Like I
it's
remember at one time I did, but like I was like I begged
you have
to
to.
go because we kind of have to. It was like second grade, and like I
Hmm.
remember like my mom told me that like she couldn't sleep that night.
Oh
It was
wow.
like
Yeah.
yeah, so it's just that mom,
Yeah, that
just
anxious mom.
yeah, anxious mom, just that mom instinct of like looking over us and
Hmm. That's true. I remember when I was a kid, we had this neighbor. It was a Dominican family, and they had like, a lot of cookouts and stuff.
Yeah.
And they're like really welcoming, so they would give us food to try and things like that. And my dad was just like not having that. I don't know. He's like, don't go over there, don't eat their food. And we were just kids, so we went over there, and I feel like you can never decline food from any foreign parent. So like,
Yeah.
they just gave us plates full of like meat, and my dad saw that, thinking like we went against his word, and we went over there to ask for food, and like he just got so angry, and like tiny things like that. It's like,
Yeah.
really, you can't eat other people's food? Like, it was so
Yeah.
strange. Yeah.
Yeah. No, yeah. I think I've had similar experiences like that, but not really with just food, but like especially like sleepovers.
Yeah, I'd never asked for a sleepover because I already knew the answer.
Yeah.
I'm
It's
not
always
risking
no.
it. Yeah, always no. There are too many
Yeah.
questions to even like try to ask because I already know. It's like,
It's also the same with like I don't know in your experience, but like parties sometimes.
mhm.
Like they're gonna have like a campfire, cook some s'mores. Like I can't. They tell me, and I'll just be like, yeah, I don't think I can go to that.
Yeah,
Apologize.
without even asking because you already
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, what are you gonna do at the party? Whose
Yeah.
party? Like, too many questions. Let me just not
Yeah. It's like,
ask.
what are you gonna do at the party? Who's there? What are you gonna do there? Like,
Yeah,
oh, it's the
it's a
party.
party. What do you do at parties? Or like, oh, you can cook s'mores at home, or
Yeah.
you just come up with these things. I always
Exactly.
wonder, like when we're older and we become parents, are we gonna be similar, or will we be more lenient because we kind of know what the
Right.
culture is?
Yeah.
We still have regard. I don't know. I don't know if I trust
Right.
people in the world to be
Yeah.
super like open to things. But
Well, that's a good question because I sometimes think that because I'm like,
mm,
sometimes you're raised sometimes on the belief and is what you know
very
sometimes. So I mean, there's probably things you could probably adjust and be like, hey, I don't really like how I did that, or hey, I understand. But like at the same time, like as you grow up, you're like, oh, I kind of understand why.
hmm
Because when you're a kid, you're like, why? Like what the heck?
that's
Like
true.
nothing's gonna
Nothing's
happen at
gonna
that
happen.
party.
Yeah.
Nothing's gonna happen at that party. Like literally, nothing happened at that Snapchat story. So
Yeah.
so so it's just stuff like that. But you can just adjust as you go, and you really, as you like mature and go through life, go through experiences. Again, with the word experience.
No, that word, I use it all the time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like as you go through that, you just start understanding and learning, and really truly understanding like, oh, why thinking process of that.
hmm That is true. Because I feel like with our parents, they kind of already have their assumptions and their,
Yeah.
can never say the word prejudice, free judgments, or about whatever, like America in a social sense, or they don't understand it enough to allow their child to participate. So
Right.
I can understand that. I would be guarded, but try to understand.
Yeah.
Yeah, parenthood is hard, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm
Can't speak
sure.
on it.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's prepared for it.
Never.
First-gen parents,
Yeah.
because at the same times, like I feel like if we sometimes tend to compare, like, oh, but what about them? Like, what about the Johnsons? They get to
Mm.
have a sleepover, and so we tend to like compare. Sort of like, I wonder if there wasn't that comparison, if we'd like, okay, if there
Right.
wasn't that comparison, would we really have that feeling toward our parents?
That's a really good thought. I I think that comparison does influence it because as a kid, when you see something that someone else is doing that you want, you
Yeah,
do question that. And
yeah,
it's like, why can't I be like them or do what they're doing? And your
hmm,
parent, they're not giving you a good reason at all. So it's like nothing
right,
makes sense. Yeah.
yeah,
I think if we didn't see what the Americans were doing, we would be
yeah,
fine. We'd
yeah.
probably be like, okay,
We'd probably be like our own little bubble,
exactly.
but I don't know if that's a good thing or not. I don't know.
I think I want to say exposure is good,
Yeah,
but then the whole like FOMO, like fear of missing out. Hmm. I'm having a lot of thoughts right now.
yeah. It's like a paradox almost. It's
Yeah.
like yes and no. Like yes, it would. I think there's pros and cons to each, but
Mm.
it really depends on how you live. Because I imagine if I were to be living in Colombia, probably wouldn't have that comparison as
Exactly. I was
much.
just thinking of like,
Because everybody's really the same.
yeah,
But
goes back
but
to that.
over here, there's such a
Like a hierarchy or
yeah. It's like a some people are like more they can afford things more than other people can.
mm-hmm.
So it's just that like, oh, like your best friend could be like the richest person in town,
Right, right.
which isn't that crazy over here, but maybe crazy over there because when you're in your town and you're um, in your little section of town, like
Mm-hmm.
everybody's usually the same.
Exactly.
Everybody goes out to play on the weekends and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's true. Everyone's living the same life. There's no, why can't I do what Johnny's doing or whatever?
Yeah,
I feel like the way, also like the neighborhoods are built, and America kind of does that too, where certain neighborhoods, it's a certain economical status, and I feel that
Mhm.
carries over with like abroad. Like if I think about Ivory Coast, there are those like wealthier areas,
Right.
same as America. But even then, I guess if there's like an average suburb, there's always a richer neighbor or a richer
Right.
person in the neighborhood. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not like they're all equal.
Yeah. It's just that just makes America so interesting because your neighbor could be wealthy as heck, and then the other neighbor could be like living day to day sort of thing.
Exactly.
So it's really, I think it's stuff you only find here sometimes.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
It
would
could be
think
over
so.
there in like Europe or in England because
Yeah.
I know England is pretty diversified, but I'm not sure. I haven't been there to really know.
Another example that I have when you said like your neighbor could be the richest person. So
Uh-huh.
I live in an apartment complex now in
Mhm.
Norwood, and a few like streets over, Ernie Bach Jr. lives. The
Who's
cars?
Ernie Bach?
Oh shoot, it's a car dealership.
I might have to do a quick Google
You
search.
might have to. Ernie Bach Jr. Whoa,
Uh,
you definitely know Ernie.
uh, Ernie Bach Jr. Oh,
But he does the car. He's like a car, or his
yeah.
dad does the car.
I've seen him before. I've seen him before.
Okay, yeah.
Oh,
So his whole like mansion or house, whatever, he like
right.
lives like I drive by his place all the time.
Right.
And he's like I want to say multi-millionaire. I don't know, very wealthy guy.
I think I saw like a B in there. It's like a billionaire, I think.
Oh shoot, okay.
I think so. I'm not sure.
You probably are right because he's making a lot of money off of his cars
Yeah.
or whatever. So yeah,
Yeah.
that speaks to that.
Yeah. It's just crazy. It's really crazy.
Mhm.
Because for me, like where I live in Atlanta, well, I live outside Atlanta, but I study in Atlanta, and whenever I drive by, there's some certain areas where, like I always tell my mom, like there's this area called Lenox, which is like a really fancy spot, but
Mhm.
it's really like it's this of fancy, and then right outside of it, just like
Oh.
normal houses. You can have like some really beat down houses, which is
Oh.
like really strange sometimes because you know one street it could be the most modern all glass houses, which are
Mm.
beautiful.
Yeah.
And then the next, it could be just like a beat down home.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's
Which
wild.
is like, yeah, it's really wild. Sometimes it messes with your head because you're like, oh, wait, what?
Yeah, where am I?
Wait, where the heck am I?
Wow. And that's he said it's called Lenox in Georgia.
Lennox.
Oh,
Yeah,
Lenox.
Lennox.
I'm gonna have to do a quick Google search.
Lennox. Oh, it's Lenox.
Okay, found it.
Yeah. So yeah,
I
I
see
mean,
what you're
it's
talking
it's predominantly like super rich. There's all the fancy restaurants are there
about. Mm.
and stuff like that. And then like maybe like half a mile away, it's like
Yeah, like when I
yeah,
Google pictures, I'm like seeing mixed results.
yeah,
Yeah, exactly what you're talking about. That's so
yeah.
wild. So, how do you tend to stay connected with your roots?
With my roots,
Mm.
well, I actually kind of struggle with that because sometimes like because I know my mom and my dad are probably like on the phone with like family stuff, and I say what's up to them,
Mhm.
like hey, like they tell me hey, you should come back, this and that. But like when it comes to like me really like calling like hey, how you doing? Like I really struggle with that. But
Yeah.
when it comes to like saying what's up on like my mom's phone calls and stuff like that. But like I when it comes to like staying with my roots, like I've been going to Colombia probably like almost every year these
Mhm.
past couple of years. So like I go there, I chill there for like either like a week to a month, and like just hang around, eat a lot,
Yeah.
and because like last trip or 2 trips ago, like I met my great grandma. Yeah, I met like my great grandma. She's just there chilling
That's
in her
awesome.
late 90s, and I'm just like, wow,
Wow.
yeah, she's still chilling.
Yeah, she's out there. Wow.
Yeah, she's out there. But yeah, like for me, it's been like every trip, like I find out, oh, I have a cousin, or I have an
Yeah,
extra
basically.
uncle. I'm like, oh,
Extra uncle.
yeah, I
It's
was like
like that.
another uncle.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how it's been. Because I remember that first trip, I met like I kid you not, like 5 cousins and like 5 second uncles. It was like, oh, I don't know you, but you know my
Hey.
mom or you know my
Yeah.
dad.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's funny because they accept you like you're their son, you're their
Exactly.
daughter. They're like,
Yeah.
hey, have you eaten? Like, and they just stuff you with food and
It's amazing.
yeah,
It's like they don't care how far of a
hmm
distant relative you are. It's like you're my
right,
son or you're my
yeah.
daughter. Yeah.
Like even 1% blood, they're
Exactly.
take you in. They'll take you in.
Yeah. Like my mom recently connected with her cousins,
Hmm.
I guess through her dad.
Hmm.
And like when I was there, we just met them. Like she just met them too. And now we're like connected on WhatsApp like all the time. It's like
Yeah,
never knew you existed before.
yeah. It's crazy. No, because I sometimes think like your family tree really like branches out so much,
Hmm.
especially with your dad's side. There's just like mom and dad, and then their mom and dad, and then
Yeah,
their brothers and sisters. It like branches out,
it really
and then
does.
like with mom's side, it all branches out.
Hmm.
So it's never ending.
It's no. I was gonna say that. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
never
it's
ending.
never ending.
You
It's
always
never ending
find
with your family.
somebody.
Yeah,
Even with you, you speak Spanish fluently.
right.
Okay, so even with you speaking Spanish fluently, you still find it difficult to connect.
Well, yeah, because like when it comes to like birthdays, I'm like, hey, happy birthday, stuff
Hmm.
like that. But it's just that like they all live like over there in Colombia. Like
Yeah.
I don't really get to see them day to day. Like up to recently, I saw like this New Year's. I was up in like Seattle, which
Hmm.
is like where I have like an uncle and like cousins, and that's
Okay.
like about my only family here in America. So we really got to reconnect there, and we got chilled. And I've been just like texting my cousin like, "Hey, what's up?
Hmm.
Like, what you doing?" Like even though he's like much younger than me, but any blood cousin is
Yeah.
cousin.
It's always like it's strange when you have a big family like that to like
Mm-hmm.
try to keep up with everything, and then America keeps their people busy, so we have like
Yeah.
no time to ever really connect. But I'm getting better at it and just finding out. Like I have a cousin who I've never met. He recently moved to Massachusetts, so
Oh
we've
wow.
been like hanging out more, and he's like super cool, and it's like there's never anything like weird about connecting with a cousin because it's like it just feels natural and it's right. Like
Right.
there's no awkward stage to it.
Yeah. No, they're just like, "Hey, your family, what's up?"
Yeah, exactly.
Which is
Just wanted
really
to get to know
cool.
you.
I can't imagine how that is because that's just so cool.
Yeah, yeah, like being on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if part of it has to do with I don't know with your culture. Like when there's family in America, they kind of put you on a pedestal, and you're like,
Oh.
yeah, like a
Oh yeah.
celebrity. Yeah, I
Yeah.
wonder
They're
if
like,
that's like
"Oh, the American."
yeah.
Yeah, because for me, like whenever I go to Colombia, like my grandpa introduces me as the American.
The American. Yeah,
I'm just like
I'm
it
not
puts me on such a like a weird spot. 'Cause I'm like, yeah, yeah, I'm
yeah, it's
American.
yeah, exactly. Same with mine. It's like we just walk around, and even like people who are not family, they just
Mm-hmm.
know that you're not from there. They're like, yeah, you're
Mm-hmm.
from somewhere else, maybe American or whatever. I don't
Yeah.
speak my country's language, French, fluently, So
Mhm.
even then, like if I try to speak, it's like, yeah, you're not from here.
I mean, do you understand it?
Yeah, I understand it fluently.
Okay, that's really cool.
Yeah, I
That's
speak
really
some of it.
okay. So like I've been like trying to get into like French, like
Hmm.
learning some French and like do you have any tips or like anything like to really like TV wise, like just watching TV
Uh,
all the time?
Probably. See, I'm trying to learn French myself, so
Yeah.
I think consistency is key. Which
Right.
sounds cliche, but I think like if you do any apps, just being consistent with it,
Hmm.
or um, I would just say like go to France. Really, I think like hearing it, being like immersed in it,
Yeah.
really, yeah. But I think TV with a visual and
Hmm.
subtitles, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe watching a show every day, you might pick up on.
Yeah. Yeah, because like I think really like learning a language and is really important because
Hmm.
really you get to connect with other people. Just the whole reason I'm trying to really do it. I don't really care what language, but like
Okay.
French is the one that like really like caught my eye, and I'm like,
Oh,
oh
interesting.
yeah. For whatever reason, I don't know. I just woke up one day. I was like, let's do it.
French. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's any shows. I think if you Google it, there'll definitely be like recommended
Mhm.
shows. I feel like kid shows are a good place to start to learn a language,
Okay.
like a cartoon
Yeah.
or something. Yeah,
Yeah, because I mean, they start with the basics. It's like
yeah.
1, 2, 3, which is what I need.
It's
So,
like yeah, or like really like conversational things too.
hmm
I
Yeah,
think
because
I think Adventures of Tintin, which I don't know where you can find it, but I think that's a good place to start.
The Adventures of Tintin. I think I've seen the movie. I'll probably just start like I think I'll just start with the cartoon shows and try to like bear with it.
Yeah, see
Because
how
I
that goes.
honestly that's probably a good start.
I think I'll have to do that too because I'm getting there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a process for sure.
It definitely is. A process
Yeah,
and an experience.
yeah. Again with the experience.
Yep. Can't escape it.
Like, what's your story? Like, what's your story?
What's my story?
Yeah,
As much as I ask people for their stories, I'm like, what is my story? Like, I don't know.
yeah.
Or I don't know where to start. So I have a big family. I have three sisters and one brother, and there's five of us. My older sister is born in Ivory Coast, where my family's from, and then I think my dad came over a few times before I was born. So he was over here, and then my mom came over, and then they had me. And I was born
Hmm.
in Boston, and then my other siblings were all born in America. So I was their first Americanized child, basically.
Wow.
Yeah. And my sister, I think my older sister, she came with my mom. So she also was
Mm,
Americanized, but well, she wasn't born in America.
right.
And so lived in a white area, went to white schools, went to like really white college, like even whiter than like I don't know, super white. It was a all women's college in like Western Mass, which is like all farms and really
Mhm.
rural. Um, in my youth or like elementary, middle school, just noticing that although I am black, I don't feel black enough like the black Americans because
Mhm.
that's not my background. And any student who was in like a immigrant, like an actual first generation, like born in
Yeah.
Africa or Haiti and came over, like now I'm too American for them. So I never
Yeah.
really fit in. And like I feel like a lot of first generation or other first gen students were I want to say Asian or
Mhm.
maybe North African, but not too many that I know of, not like any students who look like me who are also first gen.
Yeah.
And so I just had a lot of these like first gen experiences or Americanized experiences, but not really having the language for it. And it
Right.
wasn't until college where my roommate was also first gen and review vocal and aware of it. And then we like had a lot of kind of like what we are talking about, like even though we're from
Yeah.
different cultures, there's so many like similarities and paths that cross and like
Yeah.
because we're first gen, because we're Americanized, because we can
Right.
relate about our parents and being a first gen college student because she was also a first gen college student. And
Right.
then, yeah, so I kind of went through college and since having those like conversations with her and realizing that friends that I didn't go to school with, but like my mother's friends, with kids of my mother's friends who were also first gen, were like, yeah, same experience, who were also African.
Right.
Kind of like having this epiphany that, oh yeah, we kind of all have the same story. So by the end of college, I had this idea to create Americanized
Wow.
because of this, like, wow, what is this first gen experience Americanized
Yeah.
thing? Yeah. And the original title was supposed to be like the word Americanized with the CAN.
Okay.
But then I found that there's a podcast that already has that name. And I was like, dang, that stinks. So I was like kind of freaking out, like, how am I supposed to, like, I don't want to give up on this idea, but
right.
I can't have the same title. And I don't want to change the name completely. So I just kind of mess with the spelling. And then it kind of made sense because KIN, kin, was like a kinship, like a family, like a group of, like a collective. So I was like, that makes a lot of sense. So I just stuck with that.
That's cool. That's cool. Yeah. And how many episodes are you in? Like,
I think right now 13.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. Because I actually have like my own podcast.
Oh, all this time. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I actually have my own podcast with like the same group of like best friends that I have.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah, so we're actually so it's the TOG podcast.
Oh, okay.
And we're actually like on our 7th episode.
Oh, that's so exciting.
Yeah, so when I hear 13, I'm like, wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, I didn't even realize.
Even though it doesn't sound like that much, but like it's a lot.
When you start out, yeah, it is. Yeah. When I look back at like the list, I'm like, oh yeah, I did that episode. I forgot about that.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah.
So what's your podcast all about, or what do you talk about?
I'll be completely honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
We're about anything and everything.
Okay.
Like, unfortunately, we don't really have like a niche. Like, like we don't talk about this, we talk about that. It's really just we wing it. Sometimes we do reactions. So it's really everything. It's really everything. But for now, we're just doing it for fun because that's what we're doing. And like I'm picking up like editing while I go. I don't know for you, like how's your process when it comes to like filming and editing and
so I don't usually incorporate the video. I just do audio, and I use Audacity, which I feel like is like for me the easiest, just because it's really simple. And like my brother, he does music production, so he gets really into like different software and stuff. But I'm like, let me do something simple and easy.
Yeah.
So I do that, and I'm still like cleaning up my editing skills because I feel like my older episodes, the quality was just not great.
Yeah.
But I was so eager to get the episodes out there. Yeah. I probably could have waited and had like a better quality episode.
No, yeah, but I completely agree with like spitting out content, just doing as much as possible. Because sometimes we get held back of like, oh, I need the camera, or I need this, and I need that. Because, it's really all about just spitting out content.
That's true. Just
that's
do
all
it.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if not, I would have had like a bunch of ideas that probably wouldn't have gone anywhere. So.
Right. Yeah.
So what is TOG? Does that stand for anything?
Yeah, it does stand for something. It stands for the Ordinary Get Together Podcast.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so just we're all about like just super laid back. It's just really ordinary, just getting together, talking. But yeah, right now we're just rolling on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram.
That's funny.
We're just doing all that. But I'm not. Are you on TikTok yet?
No, I try to avoid it as much as possible. But
really,
yeah, I don't know. Maybe I should change my mindset. But my friend's like, you should get on TikTok, put your podcast on TikTok or something.
Yeah. No, there's a lot to grow. Like we've probably gained a couple subs and couple viewers from it.
Oh, cool.
But yeah, it's really cool. I don't know about you, but I really love the whole process of like just really growing it, having fun with it, talking to other people. Because we also have guests sometimes, but these guys are like friends of ours. Yeah. But it's really just fun, just really talking.
It is a fun process. We should collab sometime.
No, for sure.
With all your first, yeah,
for sure. Yeah, I don't know. I've never done like a really like a virtual episode, but like we're all about like in person.
Oh, okay.
But, no, for sure. I'll let you know. I'll shoot you an email or something.
Yeah,
we
sounds good.
We can get that arranged for sure.
Absolutely. That'll be fun.
Yeah, no,
all the
for
different
sure.
perspectives. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah, no worries.
To close out, I just want to ask you this really big question that I ask everybody at the end is, what is your message to the listeners?
Oh, wow, really?
Really big, yeah.
That's cool. My message would be, I think the viewers have probably had enough of listening to the word, but like really just getting out of your comfort zone and really doing things, just action, because taking action is very important with anything, because without actions we learn again with our experiences, and we really get to know what's right and wrong and really know what works for us, what doesn't work for us. So I really just that word action, just taking action and doing the things, because like the podcast really, it was just a dream of ours and we just took the action. So,
I love that.
Yeah.
Action, my word for the year will be action. Yeah, no, it's super important. I agree. Thank you so much for being on the show. This was a lot of fun. I'm glad we talked and had this conversation, and we could really connect on a lot of, like, pretty much everything, which is really cool. Yeah.
I really appreciate it. Thank you for having me on. Like, I really enjoyed it. This is like my first time doing something like this, like being like a guest, because usually I'm like the host or the co-host, but being the guest, it feels really cool. So I appreciate you for having me on.
Thank you so much.
And hope to see you soon on our podcast.
Yes, we will collab for sure.
For sure. I appreciate that.
Thank you so much for listening. Hope to catch you in the next episode. All original music produced by Stubborn Soul. You can find him on all music listening platforms at STBRNSAL.